Opportunities. If you were to ask me as a business person, okay, never mind all this scary stuff. Where's the money? Show me the beef. How can I do well in this situation? Man, there's opportunities like you wouldn't believe. When I talk to MBA classes and the young people, I say, no, I was in the fashion business. I mean, it was up one day and down the next. Are you kidding me? Beer, soft drinks, apparel. It's crazy. And if you make a mistake, tennis rackets, wrong color sports bag, wrong material, you're done. When you're ordering $5 billion worth of shoes from Asian factories and you get the wrong design and the wrong color a year ahead of time, you're done. There's never been a straighter line than what our MBAs and our students can be looking at for the next 20 years, because this is not going to change. These are opportunities that are right in front of you, that if they're smart enough and clever enough and they can pick up on these, they're going to have a very interesting lifestyle. Heating and cooling solutions for buildings. A lot of our power goes to cooling and heating our infrastructure that's been built for the last 60 years in this country. The LEED stuff is great, but it's only 1 or 2% of the total building, right? It's the old legacy infrastructure that we got to modify. You come up with a model for that, and you're going to make a fortune. Smart buildings, you know, buildings that cool themselves, heat themselves, all of that. I mean, it's just huge, and I'm seeing new solutions coming across all the time. Infrastructure upgrades. There's not a politician in this country that wants to say to all of the people in New York or Miami or St. Louis, guess what? I'm in charge. I'm going to raise all your taxes for 20% because we're literally sitting on a rotting infrastructure. Our bridges are collapsing. Our sewers are collapsing. We're losing water at billions of gallons a day because none of the pipes down there. They got wooden pipes in Miami. There's not a politician in the world that's going to do that. No, leave it for the next guy. I just want to get voted up next. But leave it for the next guy. We're sitting on infrastructure that's 50, 60, 70 years old, and we're all going to pay that price. We're all going to pay that price someday. Water desalination, as I talked about, here's a great challenge for you all. Real simple. Sea levels are rising. It's very conceivable we're going to see 1.5 billion people offset from rising sea levels, 3 to 6 feet. And this new development in the Antarctic is going to accelerate that. So let's figure it out. If the sea levels are rising in the oceans and the lands are parched, then let's come up with a solution for massive economical desalination. Freshen the water, get it to the lands, cultivate the land, pump it in, land, develop the agriculture and the fruit, and keep the Pacific and the Atlantic from overtaking Miami or Manhattan or Bangladesh. Not to mention the Maldives, not to mention the Solomons, right? Big one, carbon mitigation. Talked about that already. Methane capture. Methane is 20 to 25 times worse than CO2. And methane's a real issue, especially with the melting down and the warmer temperatures up in the Ukraine and the northern West Territories. All of that carbon that's in that land has been frozen and captured for centuries. We're now starting to see it all bubble up because the land is thawing and the methane is seeping to the top. So not only do we produce a lot of methane in our own businesses and culture every day, but we got these natural things that are going to be an accelerator on methane going forward. And like I said, it's 20 times more deleterious as a GHG gas. Methane captured, drones, robots, satellite. I don't know how you feel about monitoring, but this if you're in the drone business, Katie bar the door, you are going to make a fortune. You're going to make a fortune. There are people now who are coming out with hand-thrown drones, and they're surveying everything. They're overseeing poachers in Africa that are killing the elephants for the ivory. They're poaching fishing areas and lakes and oceans where people are capturing sharks and finning them for shark fin soup, and how we lose 95 million sharks a year on this planet. There's going to be these drones checking us out everywhere on every activity on the planet. And once we get the enforcement behind the observation, we're going to have one heck of a business model. One heck of a business model. I get real excited about that. Carbon-free weaponry. Now this one's sick, right? I'm sick. Carbon-free weaponry. I mean, that's really a sick notion. But gee, I've been around 70 years. There's been somebody fighting and killing somebody the whole time. And whenever they do that, there's one hell of a mess. The buildings get burnt, black smoke goes up. The pollution is horrendous. So lead and gunpowder's been around, what, China, right? How many, 3,000 years? You think it'd be smarter to come up with something new. Maybe a ray gun where we can get rid of the enemy and not mess up the cities, not mess up the streets, not create fires, and right? That could be a heck of a business. Waterless agriculture is coming up. It's going to be fascinating. Big data, big data, big data. The stuff that's coming through, the Internet of Things, the data, the stuff we know on, dynamic 24/7 monitoring every millisecond. We're going to get forecasted projection things. We're going to be able to sense things before they happen. We'll be able to get warnings on oil rigs before they blow up. We'll be able to get warnings on fracking before we find out we got 27% more methane above the well. We're going to get all sorts of prognostics that are going to allow us to be smarter about all the things we're doing on the planet.